I got a sick tattoo, but in the middle of it, I think you can see this. I can't see, but we're going to try and zoom in. I've got a weed leaf on my kneecap, and I fucking love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. The reason why I got a kneecap tattoo, I'm kind of sure of the reason. I guess what I want to start off with is that I went through this phase as well, and I'm still a little bit like that. I'm all about there being meaning behind tattoos, but one of the best pieces of tattoo advice I ever had from a mate who's covered in them is he goes, some of the best tattoos have no meaning. Like, the fact they have no meaning is the cool meaning. And it really helped me just kind of stop putting so much pressure on myself about tattoos being perfect, because I procrastinated a lot of my life, and I am actually glad that I procrastinated getting lots of tattoos. This is look, I've got this tiny little one on my wrist, and I've got this tiny little tattoo on my fingertips. Hopefully you can see that. It says love when I put my hands together. But outside of these two tiny little tattoos, I had no tattoos. When I was a stripper, I was considered a clean skin, and I feel like I would have got some tattoos I would have regretted if I got them in my early years. But I may grow up. I may be old in 5 years time, 10 years time. I might look back on 30-year-old Josh and be like, oh, fucking stupid fuck, got a weed leaf tattooed on his kneecap. But I recently did a video on addiction, and I didn't really share remotely anything close to what I want to talk about. I can spend hours on the topic, but look, honestly, weed, dope, Mary Jane, it's whether it's been good or it's been bad, it's led me to some like catastrophic failures, and it's also led me to some massive wins, and it also hasn't been like the main thing in my life. However, it's been present in my life for the last 15 years, and during the last 15 years I've just had a lot of up and downs. I've had lots of ups and lots of downs, and the weed has helped me get into lots of downs, and it's also helped me get out of lots of downs. And whether it's been a positive or negative influence in that time, it's been there regardless. And it's funny that my first ever tattoo is a weed tattoo. It's actually 421. Culturally, I'm hoping you know the 420 deal, but if you know me well, I have a tendency to be late as well. I'm a bit useless when it comes to time often, and so 421 is the joke that like I often miss 420 because I'm too busy fucking around, and then when it's time to smoke, it's already 421 by the time I smoke. So I had that kind of like seed planted, so that when it came down to like wanting to get a tattoo, I was like, I wonder if I can just like keep the weed theme going. You know, that's probably the only like core reason. But the thing about kneecaps is I know kneecaps are painful. A lot of people don't get kneecaps. There's an absence of there's lots of good kneecap tattoos out there, but because there's less people that get them, and the kneecap's also like a really awkward space because it bends a lot, it hurts a lot. It's a harder place to do like amazing tattoos than maybe other parts of the body. And so I'm attracted to things that are more unique and more obscure and more different. And so I've really had this fascination with getting the kneecap tattooed, you know, and I thought there's just something like, fuck yeah, about getting a weed leaf tattooed on my kneecap. And that's really the whole reason that made me make the decision. It wasn't like, what's the real meaning behind this? Although, you know, it is like, there's lots of story, there's lots of meaning to it, but all of those meanings and stories are more so derived after the decision's already been made. So ultimately, just for 30-year-old Josh and the way Josh sees his life and sees himself, that version of that Josh, which is me right now, is just like, fuck yeah, that's a sick tattoo. And because that's how I feel, that's what I want to get. So yeah, that's my main reason of getting a weed tattoo. But it really is a bit of an ode. It's an ode to this thing I've both danced and wrestled with my whole life. And yeah, I just think it's a beautiful piece of art on my leg. Obviously, like I mentioned, the symmetrical stuff I do like all of that. So we're going to continue this leg sleeve. We're going to go up onto the leg. We're going to go up we're going to do a massive piece here. We're going to do a big circular, another mandala thing to keep the theme going, and then we'll finish off the rest of the leg. But for now, I actually want to put, like, tattoos are expensive and Sinead's a wicked artist. I want to be putting priorities into like filming videos like this, and I'd rather, instead of dropping a couple grand on tattoos, I'd probably rather drop a couple grand on a video editor or an assistant to help me film, or like a secondary camera, or like anything that helps me continue sharing stories in the online space. So thanks for listening to my tattoo story. I look forward to sharing lots of other random stories and entertaining you with me thoughts and experiences. So health and happiness, much love. See you in the next video. Bye.